All right, so what exactly is the New Age? A lot of people talk about the New Age, especially in the Christian world. You'll hear stuff like, "Oh, that's a bunch of New Age nonsense" or New Age blasphemy, and you'll hear sort of these put downs here and there from different communities about the New Age community and about the New Age movement. But you know what's interesting is, I guess based on the stuff you've been hearing on this channel, you can consider me a New Age person. I've spent I did a lot of traveling and really experimenting with different paths and techniques, and I met a lot of different people and read a lot of different books and paths and religions and all that stuff. And so I guess you could say I know who these people are, a lot of these people, the New Age people. But what's interesting about the New Age movement is the people that call those people, or me included, New Age, the people that are New Age don't call themselves New Age. And to be honest with you, it's a little confusing and a little convoluted. And so, number one, I wanted to get to the bottom of just exactly what the New Age movement is, what they believe, and two, to try to figure out why everybody's always putting these people down and what the problem is, because these poor people, I tell you, I've heard a lot of this everywhere I go, like, oh, New Age, New Age. But what is it? All right, so, if you were to look up the definition, they actually say, like, even the people who wrote the definition don't really understand what New Age, what it really means, clearly. There's some different details that the New Age movements, different belief systems, there's sort of some patterns, right? It's widely believed that it started mainly in the 1970s. Really, I would say probably the 20th century really is when, because a lot of the stuff that these different people claim is New Age falls into the category of stuff that I have been a part of and studied and stuff like that. And so, some of their general beliefs are things like God is sort of omnipresent, that God is within us all, that we're all sort of sparks of divinity, that if you want to find your divinity, you have to go within with some kind of meditation to find it. There's a big emphasis on sort of personal responsibility for your mind and your life and your spiritual journey. A lot of people in the New Age movement, according to different sources, say that they believe this universe is like a dream. So as you can see and hear here, it's pretty much everything we've been saying on this channel. So obviously a lot of people are just like, oh, well, that's all nonsense. It's all false. It's not real. And it's designed to lead people astray. And some people even talk about things like the New Age movement was sort of created by the CIA or something to kind of, I don't know what they're saying the CIA's goal was there, but some people think it was all created. So what's the truth according to this guy? First of all, a lot of the stuff that they talk about is just spiritual law. It's just universal law. It's natural law. It's information and belief systems that have been around for thousands of years, right? That just sort of sprang up. Oh, the other part about the New Age movement is it's mostly like a Western culture phenomenon, right? Not that it doesn't exist in other parts of the world, but it's mostly a Western culture phenomenon, right? So that's what I mean. Like the things we just talked about, God being omnipresent, God living within us all, the universe of time and space being like a dream, duality is a myth, all that stuff. That stuff is in the East, right? Like that's pretty much what Buddhists believe, Hindus, Jains, the Eastern religions, the mainstream religions have all that stuff in there. So, when they use the phrase New Age, that's automatically they're not correct, because this information, it's not new. There's nothing new about it, right? The people who smear the so-called New Age, they always want to kind of make it seem like it's just new stuff people just made up, but it's not, right? Like, again, this is stuff from the East. This is not new information. In fact, most of it's real. Again, they talk about, a lot of New Agers are into things like yoga and meditation, and they talk about ascended masters and angels and stuff like that. That's all real. All I can tell you, from everything I've found, most of what the so-called New Age is talking about is true. And so, the truth is, anytime some group of people are trying to smear some other group or smear some other idea or put it down or whatever, it's just because they don't want you looking into it, frankly. They don't want you understanding the truth. It's not that the New Age movement is leading people astray, it's that all the old stuff is leading people astray, right? And that leads us to the next area of discussion where, we have this concept of the New Age, right? Like New Age beliefs. Well, okay, so that means that Christianity and Islam and Judaism and even Hinduism and Buddhism would be considered old age beliefs, right? But the truth is, real spiritual knowledge is not old age. It's not old and it's not new, right? It's timeless. So you'll see it everywhere. You'll see it all through the different, universes, kind of like mathematics, right? They're just timeless spiritual truths. And frankly, the timeless spiritual truths are specifically what you don't see in a lot of the Western religions, right? Judaism, mostly Christianity, because that's where the dark occult is really hijacked in there, and Islam and stuff like that. Although timeless wisdom is in there. You got to understand that so-called New Age stuff is a lot of information that dark occultists don't want you to know. They don't want you to know that there's divinity within you and that God is reality and that this world is an illusion. That's the last thing they want you to know. So they're going to it's like anything else, right? And so the dark occult is responsible for the creation of, Roman Catholicism, modern-day Christianity, Mormonism, Jehovah's Witnesses, a lot of it. And of course, that doesn't mean that there's not like dark occult meddling in the so-called New Age movement. But again, the New Age movement, this is just a lot of information. And that includes the stuff going on this channel that's coming out again, right? Like we are in sort of an upward swing. We talked about the Dwapara Yuga at one point. A lot of New Agers think we're heading into the age of Aquarius. I don't share that belief. I think that's what they call the golden age, which is still a few thousand years off. But mostly this is information that's it's like hidden information, right? Like Nag Hammadi Library, the Dead Sea Scrolls. There's all this information, spiritual information that's coming forth, right, to mankind. And a lot of people interpret this as simply New Age blasphemy. But most of it's true. Now, you don't have to believe this. Again, you don't have to believe anything I say. I'm the complete opposite of belief, right? And hiding information and trying to put information down. This channel is really all about giving you as much information as possible so that you can make your own decision, right? Like, you can understand what's going on, what the options are, why a lot of stuff is hidden or manipulated or, edited out of history or religious texts and stuff like that. We're bringing all that back. A lot of people would consider A Course in Miracles a New Age text because it was really published in, it came out in like the 70s, right? But again, true spiritual wisdom is timeless, right? That's why, in the Bible, again, when Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life, no one comes unto the Father but by me, he's talking from the Spirit, he's talking from the Christ, right? And that the Spirit and Christ are timeless, right? So that's it. It's really, you got to look for the timeless teachings, the timeless wisdom. And again, and Jesus says this as well. Love God with all your mind, heart, soul, and will. Love your neighbor as yourself. Pray, meditate. The kingdom of heaven is within you. A lot of these things people would consider New Age are in the Bible anyway. You know what I mean? So, I don't think there's anything wrong with the New Age. I think it's just a way to smear people and to mislead people. But if you want to know the truth, by the way, you got to take the journey to find the truth, right? Don't believe this, don't believe that. Go find out. Because I promise you, people put down things like spiritual masters. Those are very real. I've experienced them directly, firsthand. Universal law, spiritual law. A lot of people talk about Helena Blavatsky, which we will be talking more about on this channel, who kind of authored, I think the book is Secret Doctrine. And that's kind of like where theosophy came from. That's a lot of what I'm talking about here. And a lot of people think that's evil because Aleister Crowley was interested in her. But again, you got to understand, there's the light occult and the dark occult. There's universal spiritual information. And some people, it's for the light, but some people can use it for the darkness. It's just like anything else, right? The information isn't inherently evil. It's just what you choose to do with it. So that's pretty much what the New Age is. It's pretty much anything. It's really the people that are really on top of these people and putting them down are the Christian people. And we'll talk more about why they feel that way and really get into Christianity as a whole on this channel too. Don't be fooled. We're going to dive right in to the Old Testament and the New Testament as the channel moves forward here. You gotta listen to what's going on in your heart, right? And a lot of Christians have been taught you shouldn't do that. Why is that? Because the people running their show are all about mind control, trauma-based mind control, which is all they are about. Hellfire, all that stuff. And we'll kind of unravel that as we move along too. So, if you hear about Saint Germain or any of this other stuff, I guess you could consider that New Age. I guess you could consider yoga and meditation New Age. But again, yoga and meditation have been around a long time. So you see how they kind of mess with people's heads? A lot of this stuff is just sort of coming back to awareness, but it's been here for thousands upon thousands of years. So that's pretty much what the New Age is in a nutshell. Those are my thoughts and feelings on the New Age. I don't have any, my only issue is with the dark occultists. So if someone's sitting around meditating, they've got some crystals at their house and their windowsill, and they're lighting some incense and, playing some Enya, and maybe they're a vegetarian, and reading The Power of Now, I don't have any problem with those type of people. I mean, a lot of those people are people I know and I'm friends with. So what are your thoughts? Leave whatever you think down in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.